Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to be breaking down Lantern Control. Specifically, we're going to be going over the Rakdos version of the deck, often referred to as Nightlight. In this video, I'm going to be assuming you know little to nothing about Lantern Control. The goal of Lantern is to get the game into a state where no progress can be made by your opponent. We do this through a variety of lock pieces to shut down whatever plan your opponent wants to go for. Then, we use the Lantern lock to ensure that the opponent can't draw anything that would progress the game. Once that's done, we can just sit back and watch the life slowly drain from your opponent's eyes. This particularly mean version of Lantern uses Blood Moon as an extra lock piece that helps against some traditionally very difficult matchups. It has gained some traction with the recent changes to how Urza Saga and Blood Moon interact. It used to be that Blood Moon would send to the graveyard any sagas on the field. Now, not only do they stay on board, but they actually keep any ability given to Urza Saga via its chapters. This means that if you play Blood Moon, when your Urza Saga is on chapter 2, you will have access to infinite constructs, and those end the game fast. Right, let's get into the list. Lantern of Insight is the namesake card. It lets both players see the top of their library. Pair that with cards like Codex Shredder or Pyxis of Pandemonium, 1-mana artifacts that allow you to either mill or exile the top card of the library, and you get the ability to control what your opponent gets to draw. If it's scary, simply mill it away. In a pinch, you can use Lantern of Insight to shuffle away a game-ending spell. But what even is a scary card? Sometimes the answer is easy. Sometimes it really isn't, and almost always depends on the exact context of the game. Determining what is or is not a scary card is in large part what makes Lantern one of the most difficult and unique decks to pilot. If you enjoy intricate strategy and planning, being challenged turn after turn with game-altering decisions, then you're going to love Lantern Control. Ensnaring Bridge is a core part of the strategy. Preventing creatures from attacking is a vital step against the majority of decks. The Underworld Cookbook pairs very well with Ensnaring Bridge, allowing us to discard cards from our hand quickly and creating food tokens that ensure we don't die to burn spells. The Underworld Cookbook can also act as an ensnaring bridge if the opponent has 3 or less power on board and the Lantern lock is in place, as we don't need to draw another card anymore if your opponent can't progress the game. Grafdigger's Cage shuts down most graveyard shenanigans, which are problematic when your game plan involves milling your opponent. Cage also helps dealing with pesky tutors like Chord of Calling, Neoform, and Birthing Ritual. Pithing Needle is our Swiss Army knife. Here are just a few examples of commonly named cards. Boseiju, Otawara, and Haywire Might to protect the lock, fetch lands to prevent the fetching of basics for the Blood Moon plan, combo pieces like Belcher or Walking Ballista that can kill you through bridge, or just a planeswalker like Teferi, Flipped Ral, and Tamiyo. When the goal of the deck is to control what your opponent can and can't draw, cards in the opening hand are an inherent problem. To combat this, we run a suite of hand disruption, including Thoughtseize, Inquisition of Kozilek, and more recently, Dreams of Steel and Oil to help fight Flage, amongst other things. To do all of this consistently, we use cards like Profane Tutor, Mishra's Bauble, and Urza Saga to fetch the cards we need when we need them. The Lantern Lock also allows us to mill ourselves to dig for whatever we need, improving consistency. The traditional version of Lantern Control has access to cards like Ancient Stirrings to help dig for log pieces, while the Rakdos version not only doesn't have access to Stirrings, but also regularly turns off your own Saga's fetching ability, making Nightlight significantly less consistent at setting up the Lantern Lock. However, it makes up for it with the sheer power you get from playing Blood Moon. It cannot be understated how powerful Blood Moon is in a deck that can control your opponent's draws. It's not only obviously good against decks like Amulet Titan and Domain Zoo, which have traditionally been quite difficult matchups, but also just adds another dimension to the deck. You might be surprised that an artifact deck chooses to only run a single copy of the most powerful artifact in Modern. The reason for that is that the early turns don't generally involve casting a lot of artifacts. Turn 1 Thoughtseize into turn 2 Profane Tutor is a common play pattern. Mox Opal often finds itself online as late as turn 3, which is usually too late for anything meaningful. A single copy, however, meant to be a tutor target for Saga, has proven itself to be useful in spots when you are missing your third land drop and need to cast Bridge, for example. We round off the deck with some removal. Typically, Molten Collapse for its ability to remove non-creature spells like Amulet of Vigor, Pithing Needle, and Static Prism. or Fatal Push for raw efficiency. You'll find a deck list in the description below. Think of it as a base, and don't hesitate to add or remove cards to fit your meta and playstyle. Be creative. Playing Lantern has always been about finding creative ways to get around specific problems. If you think Nightlight might be something you're interested in, I'll be putting out a video soon detailing sideboard plans for each of the most popular decks in Modern at the moment, as well as League and Challenge VODs and some edited content. If you think you would enjoy playing Lantern, but have budget restrictions, I've also got a video about playing Lantern on a budget, so go check it out. If you enjoyed this video, then please drop a like and subscribe. I'm just starting my YouTube journey, and it lets me know what kind of content you enjoy. If you have any requests or suggestions, please leave a comment. I read and respond to every single comment. Thanks for watching until the end. See ya.